Hey there guys, thanks for checking out our board game night. Today we're playing Dice Throne. This is the first season, or Champion Edition as it says over there. This is designed by Nate Chatelier and Manny Tremblay. Obviously horribly butchered that, but you can see it over there. With me to show you the overview and review is D, hey D, and myself Jason. So with this we're going to give you a basic understanding of the rules, so you understand what we're doing during the gameplay turn. Then we're going to show you some gameplay where you can see me D play through a couple of turns or maybe a whole game, and then we'll give you our verdict at the end. So Dice Throne is a head-to-head card and dice based game. So each player chooses a character. In this base box that I've got, there's 6 characters and with different complexities as well. So I'm going to be using the Paladin, and D is going to be using the Barbarian. So you can see over there, he's Barbarian. Each character comes with 5 dice, they're all different numbered. So they're numbered 1 to 6 dice, so the D6, but they have different symbols on. So for example, the Paladin has 2 swords, 2 helmets, a life and a prayer, and it shows you which numbers are connected to which. Whereas if you see D's one over there,
I got 3 swords, 2 life and 1 pow.
Yeah. And they do different things, they'll trigger different things. So if you're familiar with, say, King of Tokyo, this is a similar sort of game. So on your turn, you roll the 5 dice, and you're basically looking to make runs or sets, etc., based on what your thing is. So for example, if I wanted to do a mighty prayer, I need 3 swords and a hand, or 3 swords and a prayer. So the prayer is a 6, which I've got over there, and swords are 1s and 2s, which I've got 2 over there. So now all I need is 1 more. I got 2 rerolls after that, so I could re-roll these. There I've got the sword, so I don't need to re-roll anymore. I can now activate Mighty Prayer, which does 3 undefendable damage, and I gain crit and accuracy. We've got a nice little handy turn order track, so it shows you on your upkeep phases where you do sort of status effects. Then you get a command point and you draw a card. I think it's called command point. So
yes, it is.
CPs.
Combat point.
Combat point. So it's basically how you get cards, and these are the cards that you could spend. So in the corner it tells you how many command points they will cost.
Combat point.
Combat points. So for example, like that. So blue ones are generally upgrades to your abilities. They make them better. Orange ones are sort of instant effects that allow you to manipulate dice. And then you've got red ones which can be played in your opponent's turn to, you know, maybe do a defensive maneuver or something like that. In the main phase, you have 3 specific things where you do your offensive roll. That's what I just did now. And then you do a targeting roll phase. So, for example, I'm saying I'm doing Mighty Prayer. Then D will get to do his defense roll. In this particular example, it's undefendable, so he would skip that. But let's say it wasn't undefendable, he would then roll his defensive phase, which is based on what this green box says over here. So mine would say I roll 3 dice, and on these symbols I get these abilities. We keep going back and forth until one person is dead. You start with 50 life and 2 command points. You can see you've got like handy little turn markers. And we have on the side here abilities for counters that'll trigger as we go. I'm not going to go through all of them now. I'll explain them when they come up and are relevant during the game. And that's pretty much it. It's very simple. So we go back and forth trying to fight each other and kill each other using our abilities on our board. Anything to add?
Player limit is 2 to 6 players. With only, I'm not sure about yourself, Jason, but I know we've only played it 2 players together, but you can do up to 6 people in one go. So I'm not sure if that makes the game massively different in terms of is it all against all, or whether you can do teams or stuff.
Yeah, you can do a free-for-all where everyone's against everyone, or you can do teams where you go 1 versus 1, or 2 versus 2, or
3 versus 3.
Yeah, so.
That obviously can change depending on the size of your group as well. So, and then simple as person who goes first, you roll a dice, whoever's got the highest number goes first.
Yeah, shall we do that?
Yeah, go for it. 2,
4. So I'll go first. So we're going to stop here and we'll start the game. Alright, so we're about to start the first turn here. As the first player, I don't get to do my... skip the upkeep phase because there isn't any. And then I skip my income phase, which is where I gain a command point, a combat point, and draw a card because I'm the first player. So we go straight into the offensive roll. I could play some cards now, but I don't need to. I do have 2 combat points. So I've rolled... That's interesting. I rolled 3 helmets. and then a sword and a prayer symbol. So I could do retaliate. I don't even need to roll anymore for that, whereas I get retribution on target player and 2 command points, which is over there. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe I should bring the camera closer. That'll help. They will all get an amazing, like a massive ability. If you can roll 5 of a kind, you get your huge ability. But I've got...
That's only 5 sixes though, not just 5 of a kind.
Yeah.
For him particularly, it's rolling 5 prayers. And for me, it's rolling 5 pals.
Alright, so I've got a couple of choices here, obviously. I've got Retaliate already, but I might not want to use that at this point. Maybe Righteous Combat is something I'm thinking about. I quite like Righteous Combat. So I'm going to keep the 2 helmets and the sword. And then I'm going to re-roll these 2. Obviously, like King of Tokyo style, I've got 2 extra re-rolls. So I'm going to re-roll and see what I get. Ugh. I've got Holy Light. So I can't activate multiple ones. I have to choose one. So if I'm still trying to go for Righteous Combat, I'd need to re-roll these. Or I could just go for Holy Light. But at this point, this is a healing one, and I've not taken any damage. So that's not going to do me any good. So I'm going to re-roll these 2 again. Oh my god, I got a load of helmets.
You are a helmet.
Right, so... interesting, for the Paladin, I'm using one of the more complex characters. He has an ability up here. You may re-roll one of your dice at any time for 1 CP per re-roll. And you may draw 1 card at any time for 3 CP. So Retaliate is probably quite good to use that. But I think what I'm going to use... oh, man, I still need 2 friggin' swords, which is so annoying.
Better spend both your CP then.
No. You know what I'm gonna... damn it. So annoying. I was hoping to get at least 1 sword out of that. Alright, so I'm gonna spend 1 CP. And I'm gonna re-roll 1 of your dice. And come on, give me a sword. Give me a sword. Yes. There we go. So I got 2 helmets, 2 swords, and then I'm gonna have to spend my last CP to play Shameless. Or Samesies, rather.
Dear.
So it says it costs 1 point, so I'm down to 0 now. And it says change the outcome of one of your dice to be identical to the outcome of one of your other dice. So I'm going to change this one to be the same as that one. Boom. Finally, I've got it.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, took me a lot of effort on the first turn just to get that. So that was my offensive roll phase. Now I'm doing my targeting roll phase. So I say to D, I am targeting you with Righteous Combat, which is deal 5 damage and roll 2d6 and apply the results. So the heart is gain 2 times health, and the helmet is add 1 damage, add 1 times damage plus 2 times sword damage. So the heart will give me 2 times heart health. So basically 2 times 1 is 2, so I gain 2 health. You can only go up to a maximum of 60, so 10 times more than your starting health. So I'm on 52. And then the helmet adds 1 times how many helmets I roll times damage, so it's 1. So basically I'm doing 6 damage to D. So that's my targeting roll phase done. Now it goes to his defensive roll phase.
So I have Thick Skin. So I roll 3 dice. And I get health times 2 for how many hearts I roll. So 2 hearts. So that means I gain 4 health.
And considering you were taking 6, so you only take 2 damage.
So I'd go up to 54. Then I resolve the damage effects, so I then take 6.
And you can see that basically health, the hearts on his are 4s and 5s. So, and they say as well, obviously 4s and 5s on the dice as well. So my net result was I did 2 points of damage to you and gained 2 health. Watch out, world! I'm coming to get you. And then these are the cards I have left. So now in the main phase, I have a second main phase where instead of rolling dice, I can play cards. So for example, if I had CP, I could do some of these.
But he doesn't have any.
I do actually.
Okay.
I'm going to play Vegas, baby. So roll 1d6. Gain half the value as CP rounded up. Ugh.
That's a 1.
Damn it. So I get 1 CP. CP is obviously very good. It helps you with various things. Okay, that's me done. So I end my turn. I can now, if I wanted to, discard cards, 1 per CP. So if I...
During a main phase, you can sell a card for 1 CP, and then at the end of your turn, there's a discard phase where you must discard down to 6 cards, and then you sell the cards for 1 CP per card. So if you have 8 cards, you would sell 2, get 2 CP.
Alright, let's see what D does on his
So
turn.
it's my turn. So first thing I do is an upkeep phase, so I don't have anything to upkeep. I then do an income phase. Because I didn't go first, I do complete it. So I gain 1 CP, so I go up to 3 points. I draw a new card. So I go to my first main phase. So before I do anything, I'm going to play a card. It costs 0 CP, and it's getting paid. So I gain 2 CP. Nice and simple. So I go up to 5. I will show Jason how to actually go to Vegas, baby. The exact same card, and rolling a 3, so I get 2 CP.
So just round it up.
So I've now had 7 CP. I am then going to spend 2 CP during my main action to upgrade one of my abilities. So I had Reckless, so whenever I roll a large straight, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I would deal 15 damage and receive 4 damage in return. So I'm upgrading it to Reckless 2, which now does 20 damage, and I receive 5 damage in return. And now my entire game is going to see how many times I can roll that, because it sounds ridiculous. So, that's my first main phase. So now I'm going to go into my offensive roll. So, I'm going to immediately look at how close I am to my large straight. So I've got a 6, 5 and a 2.
So just to say, the straights in this game, a small straight is where you start at 1 and go up to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a large straight is when you start at 2 and go up to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So that's my first roll. I am indeed going to reroll these. Looking for 3s and 4s.
If you get a 3 and 4, he's rolled a 2 and a 5.
A 5. I've got one more reroll, so I'm going to roll those again.
Oh.
I've got a 3 and a 5. I'm going to spend 1, and I'm going to tip it, increase or decrease the value of any on dice by 1. Hooey! You're going to get a shoe-in. So I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means I have got a large straight. So Jason, I'm going to deal you 20 damage.
Nice, sounds good. Right, so I go to my defensive roll, which is 3 dice. And on swords, I deal 1 damage back to him, and I can prevent damage with helmets and heal damage with hearts. And with prayers, I can gain CP. So first style, little sucker any. So that's 2 CP gained, and I prevent 1 damage.
Okay, only take 19 damage.
Well. I'm going to first mark my CP. And then I'll go down to 33.
2 more turns and you're dead. Because it is reckless, I also take 5 damage in return as well. So I go down to 43.
I'm only 10 points behind you, man.
Okay, that's the end of my turn. I've got 1 card in hand. I'm not selling it. I'm not over 6, so ends my turn.
Alright, so my turn. Gain a CP. Puts me up to 4. Gain a card. This is what I got. So not particularly useful. I'm then going to roll my dice. See what I got. Oh, freaking helmets again. Right. Actually, I might just do retribution this time, because retribution, basically I give the target, if I use the retribution token, I do half damage back to you.
Hooey! Totally worth it.
So I might not even bother re-rolling anything. Yeah, in fact, you know what, I'm just going to keep that. So I'll do retaliate. So I can take the retribution token, and I'll put that over there. I gain 2 more CPs, putting me to 6. And what the hell does this do? Oh yes. Actually, you know what? I am going to do this. I'm going to upgrade my Tithe passive ability. So it cost me 3 of my 6 CPs, but I think that's worth it because it's quite a versatile ability then. So now, before you may reroll one of your dice at 1 CP per reroll, and you may draw a card at 3. Now I can reroll one of your dice at any time for 1 CP. May draw a card for 2, and when you're successfully activating an ability during your offensive roll that utilizes at least 1 prayer, you gain a CP.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not going to ditch any cards, so let's see what you got, man.
Wow. So I'll gain a CP, so I got up to 5. Draw a card. That's interesting.
I know, of course, you're looking at this from upside down, but you don't really have to read a lot, yeah, and D's not going to show us his
and
cards.
I'm just going to read out what things do anyway. So I'm going to spend 2 CP and play a triple up card, which allows me to draw 3 cards.
So 2 combo points, you get 3 cards. That's pretty decent.
3.
Hand limit is 6, but obviously you can ditch at the end of the turn after you've played cards if you have any extra for CP points.
I'm going to play this one. Costs 0 CP. It's feeling good. So I roll 3 dice, and I heal 1 plus an additional 2 for every heart that I roll. So that's 2 hearts.
5.
That's 4 plus 1, so again 5. So go back up to 48.
You're going to need it, man.
I am when I smash you for 20 again.
Yeah, take 15 and retire.
Wee, that's going to hurt. Okay, cool. So I'm not playing any more cards, so now I'll go on to my offensive roll. Oh wow, I've got 3 5s and 2 2s.
Does the hearts do anything for you other than...
Well, I can do fortitude, which is heal loads of life. I kind of feel like I shouldn't do that at the moment.
You got the basic sword attack as well. They do different
Interesting. I am going to... I'm going to keep both the swords and reroll these 3.
Yeah, there's 2 more. That's already at 6 damage. Starburst. If you get another starburst, you can do that one.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I think I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to keep that. Go for another pow. So I haven't got it. But then what I'll do is I'll spend a 6-it. Spend 1 CP. Change the outcome of any one of my dice to a 6. So one of those. So I've got 3 swords and 2 pows, which allows me to do overpower. So I roll 3 dice. Then deal damage equal to the total roll value. If the roll value is at least 14, I also inflict concussion. So I don't...
7.
7. So 7 damage.
Okay. So now I have a choice. I could use Retribution, but I don't think that's worth it because you'll take basically 3 damage back. So what I'll do is I'll do my Divine Defense. It's 3 dice. So I've got a sword, which does 1 damage to you. I prevent 1 damage with my helmet. And I gain another command point. So how much were you doing? 7.
I was doing 7.
So I take 6. I did 1 to you as well.
You did. That's my turn. The Barbarian is Complexity 1. As you can see by not very many special abilities, and I just punch things in the face.
And that's why we gave it to you. Alright, this is what I just drew. So I'm definitely going to use that now. Triple up. So spend 2 command points, putting me down to 3 to get 3 more cards.
That seemed very good.
Yes. Alright, and then I might... Do I want to do that? I might... This is what I just drew now, so I don't think I want to use that ability just yet, so I'm probably not going to. So where's my dice? I'm going to go to my main phase. Oh my god, so many helmets again. I did roll Holy Light, can you believe it? I had to upgrade for Holy Light, and I thought, I'm not going to use that. I rolled it on the first turn. Okay, it's not too bad. Let's see, what do I want to do?
Got a 3, 4, 5. Look to get one of the straights.
Yeah, my straights are real weird. Like, I can small straight, you can heals 1 and deal 5 damage. This is alright. Large straight, heal 2, deal 8 damage. So my straights aren't that brilliant. Most of the straights for all the dudes are really good.
Like my small straight is doing 9 damage.
Yeah.
That's it. And then the second straight, well, Jason knows what that does.
So I think I'm going to just go for Righteous Combat again. So I need 2 of those, and I'm going to re-roll these. Sword should be relatively easy for me to get because they're on 1s and 2s. So there's 1. I've got another roll. There's another one. But I don't have it quite yet. So I can spend, as my teeth, or whatever it's called, allows me to spend CPs to re-roll.
Because at the moment, based on your roll, you've actually got no actions, have you?
No.
So you actually, if you want to do anything this turn, you need to go and do it.
So I will indeed spend one of my CPs. Roll this. There we go. Got it. So Righteous Combat. Currently, you are taking 5 damage. Roll 2 dice. I've got a sword and a helmet. So that's another 3 damage.
No, the swords are...
2 times.
Oh, yes, yeah. 2 damage for each sword, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
So 8 damage altogether, is it?
Yes.
Right. So let's do my defensive roll. 3 dice. Healing 2 per heart. That's pretty steady I am. So I'm going to gain 4. And then I'm taking 8. So basically I'll just take 4 damage. That's me on 43.
And do I want to play any cards in my second main phase? No, I'm not gonna. So over to you.
Oh, gain CP to go up to 3. Draw my card. Interesting. Right. 27, are you?
I am.
Ugh, a whole lot of hearts.
Whole lot of love.
Problem is, I don't really like hearts. Are only good if I want to gain loads of life, or if I'm trying to go for the straights. I am going to go for the straights. I've got a 6. Last reroll. Looking for a 3 and a 2.
You got the 3.
Got a 3.
Have you got something that can change that to a 2?
Oh man.
Have you got a tithe or a tithe?
What can I do? So at the moment, I am doing not a lot. That is interesting. Okay. Spend 1 to do 1 more time by share. I can reroll up to 5 dice during an offensive roll again. So,
Did you get anything?
I think I got big fat nothing in that turn. So I need at least 3 swords to do something, 2 swords and 2 powers to do something, 3 hearts to do something. So yeah, so I've got nothing that turn at all. So
You got any cards you can play?
nope.
Wah, wah, wah. Right, over to me. Right, so I get my command points, putting me to 3. I just moved that. I'm not cheating. And draw a card. Yay! That's actually a pretty good one to draw. I just drew this one. Might help me with some swings coming my way. I don't want to spend my... I don't want to do it now just yet. So I'm going to roll my dice. And I want to go for Mighty Prayer this time, I think. But I did get 2 prayers.
It's going to be tempting, isn't it?
Ooh, do I have some shit that can help? Yes, I'm going to go through. Resolute Faith! No. One more roll. Oh, there's another one. So I've got 3 of those. And nothing else. So I'm going to spend... Nope, that's not it. So, 1 more time. So, it cost me 1 CP.
That's what I just used.
Take 1 additional reroll of up to 5 dice during your offensive turn. So, put me down to 2.
Ooh.
Can I get any 6s? There's another one.
Well, that's enough to do something.
That's enough to do Righteous Prayer. Deal 8 damage, then gain crit plus 2 CP. I'm actually just tempted to go with that. I got 2 CPs I could spend to go for it again.
What's the difference? And the other one
So
deal
the
more damage, heals 5.
and gain Blessing of Divinity, which is the one where I think I can't die.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried
Well,
about
you
that.
can't die, but when you go to 0, you heal 1.
Spend
don't
it,
you?
yeah. No, you know what? I'm going to keep it. I'm okay with Righteous Prayer. Due to the fact that it does 8 damage, then I gain crit. Crit allows me to spend the token in my offensive roll to gain plus 4 damage. It also gives me 2 command points, which puts me to 4. And my tithe says when you successfully activate an ability during your offensive roll phase that utilizes at least 1 prayer, gain a CP. So again, another one.
Cool. Right. Time to defend. Hearts. So hearts will mean that I'll gain 2. And I'm going to spend 1. I'm going to do, not this time. Target player prevents 6 incoming damage.
So you prevent all the damage.
Basically, I prevent 6, I gain 2, but then take 2.
Yeah.
So basically, I stay on 43.
Okay. So at the end of my turn, I'm going to spend 3 of my CP, putting me down to 2 to play Divine Defense 2, which now allows me to roll 4 dice. Yeah.
Okay.
That ends my turn. Yeah.
Okay, CP, draw cards. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to spend it. Spend 2. I'm going to do what status effects? Remove all status effects from target player. So you lose your retribution and your crit.
Damn it.
Now I'm going to absolutely beat crap out of you.
This is where if I had a not so fast, I'd play it.
Versus reference. Not many of you will probably get that. If you do, like and subscribe. So first one, I'm going to keep those 2.
Oh, I see a lot of 6s coming up. Is he going for rage?
Oh, absolutely.
What does your one do?
You'll find out in a minute.
Oh my god, it's so close.
I only got 4. Damn it, can't do anything. Oh well.
Wait. I'm gonna play
Force me to reroll.
helping hand. Select one of your opponent's die and force them to re-roll it. No.
That stops me doing anything, I think.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oh man, 2 turns in a row, doing nothing.
That's what happens when you're raging barbarian.
Right, yours.
Right, so gain a health, thingamo point.
Combat point.
Alright, let's see what I get. Got some more prayer icons, lots of hearts, which I don't need. I'm going to go for it again. Screw it. Righteous Prayer. Ooh, that's 3. 4!
Good. Another righteous prayer.
Yep. So it's 8 damage. I gain my crit back again. And 3 command points. Putting me back up to 5.
So I'm getting 2. I'm going to play a better D. To reroll 1 or more dice during a defensive roll. Excellent.
Oh.
So I gain 6, lose 8, so basically I lose 2.
Wow, this is a bit of a grind. Over to you.
No cards in hand. 1 CP for this card. Ha. Okay.
That's a lot of swords.
I think I might just reroll that. I'm sick of doing nothing.
5 swords.
Yeah, take 8 damage.
Right. I'm not sure I like that. Right, so I get my defensive roll. 4 dice this time. Let's see. 2 swords. So 2 swords is 2 damage to you. 1 helmet is prevent 1 damage. And I get another command point.
So you take 7 damage, do you? And I take 2.
Putting me down to 20. What are you up to?
39.
Ugh.
That is me.
Alright. 7 command points. New card. Oh, what am I going to go for this time? Do I go for a righteous prayer again? Yeah, fuck it. Oh, interesting. Mighty Prayer might be useful. Although I can't get another crit. Crits don't stack, but accuracy is pretty useful. You know what? I'm going to keep going. Righteous Prayer. Oh, that's not so good. Right, have I got anything I can make out of this? Do not. Okay. I'm going to spend 3 CPs to play twice as wild. Any 2 dice become wild, so I might change them to any choice, any dice that I want. So I'm going to change both of these into 6s.
I'm going to let you re-roll one of them then.
Ah! Right, so I'll re-roll that. And that's 6 anyway.
That's worth it.
And then...
Righteous Prayer again?
I'm thinking... So I could just go Righteous Prayer and do 8 damage now. I could spend my crit to make it 12. Or I could try and go for Resolute Faith. But... That's 10, I suppose. Yeah, screw it, I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to spend... 1 CP to re-roll that. Nope. I'll throw it. Should have probably just done this in the first place. I've got another wild card. Changes 1 dice to a 6 this time.
Hooey.
So I activate Resolute Faith, my ultimate ability. I heal 5, putting me to 25. I do 10 damage. I'm going to spend my crit to make it 14 damage. And I gain the Blessing of Divinity. And because I'm using a thingamabob, I gain a prayer.
Right, I'll defend against this 14 damage by gaining 2. So essentially I'll take 12 damage.
Boom!
27. Evens the playing field a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, only within 2 points now. You'll go.
Well, I've also only hit you 3 times, I think. Gain CP and draw cards. What do I do? I'm going to keep those and reroll these. 6. Hope for a 3. Ah, got a 1. Yeah, I'm living dangerously. I think I've got nothing again.
I don't think you understand how this game works.
I know how this game works. I continually try and get reckless.
Is that nothing?
That's nothing.
Right, onto my turn then. So I go to 3. I've moved it again. I'm not cheating. Is this the one I keep doing? Oh, it is. Oh, but it costs so much. Holy crap, it's expensive. Alright. Let's see what I get you. Huh. That's really annoying. I just drew this as an upgrade, right? But it costs more than CPs that I have.
Going for a sword.
Yeah. I got another helmet.
Does nothing.
So I'm going to re-roll that again. There we go. So, Righteous Combat. So, another 3 extra damage.
8 damage again.
8. And there's not really much else I can do with that.
Well, defend.
It's 3 stars.
God's sake. Right, take 8 damage then.
Down into your teens, man.
19.
And I don't think I'm going to play anything because it's too expensive. So you'll go.
Gain a combat point. Draw cards. That's interesting. Alright. Why do you tempt me so?
Are you going to go for it again?
3, 4, 5, 6!
There it is! Whoop, there it is!
Wow. Guess I'm doing reckless.
Oh, God damn it! I don't have my retribution triggered.
20 damage again.
Okay, I'll tell you my defensive roll then, shall I?
Yes, please.
See if I can up your damage that you take.
I'm going to take my 5 now.
Alright, I've got command points. Now I get command points.
Yeah, have all the command points you want.
Yeah, so 2
damage.
damage to you, and I get 2 more command points.
But you take how much damage?
20.
20 damage. You are now on 5.
Ouch, that hurt a bit.
Okay. I'm good with that.
But don't forget, you got to kill me twice.
Oh god, stupid ability.
And you can't get rid of this one. Alright, so I get one of
Does it
these.
say you can't go to it?
Yeah. This token may not be removed. Whatever. Transferred, stolen, or by any other means.
Damn it. Got a card which says transfer an item. I was going to do it this turn.
Huh. Okay, so I'm going to spend 4 my command points, putting me down to 2 to upgrade my righteous combat. Now that I can afford it.
Righteous Combat 3. That has a lot of writing on it.
Yes. Okay, so I've got the 2 helmets and 2 of the swords. So I'm going to reroll that. No, reroll it again.
You ain't got that.
Right, have I got anything I can manipulate it? No, so I'm going to have to spend command points. So I'm going to spend 1 command point to re-roll that. There we go.
Damn it.
Well, it's not that great. I
think it
mean,
is.
so it's 6 damage, and I roll 3 dice this time.
7 damage.
Yeah, so 7. This is a command point, and this is health. So I get 2 health, putting me to 7. You know what? I should have gone for the freaking retribution. What was I thinking?
7 damage.
Command point, putting me back up to 2.
Oh, I gained 4.
Wait. That's got 0. Better D. Target player may reroll 1 or more dice during their defensive roll.
Oh, cool. So I'll re-roll 1 or more dice.
Oh, no.
So it's just not choosing the dice. You choose a player, and then they may re-roll.
Oh, you're right.
I'll re-roll that.
Oh, fuck.
You should read your card, shouldn't you? I'll have 2 extra. Right, so I guess I take 1 damage.
You knob jockey. I've just given you a chance, man.
Taking pity on me.
Alright, you'll go.
Alright, game 1. Draw a card. Interesting. Let us roll the dice. So you're on 7, are you?
I am.
There's no point doing 20 damage. It's overkill.
You should go for 5 swords. Even though you only got 1 on your first one.
What have I got? I've got 1 of those.
You should go for a rage to finish me off, man.
I'm kind of feeling like I need to heal a bit.
Heal Schmiel, you're a barbarian.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm going to keep both of those and reroll these.
Such a sucker. Ooh, 2 more swords. 3 swords is currently 4 damage. Can you get 3 more damage from somewhere?
It's interesting, because if I get that...
Ooh, 4 swords.
currently at
6 damage.
6 damage.
That'll put me to 1 if I don't take any healing.
Man, I totally feel like it's worth it.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to do So Wild.
Oh, you're going to make it into 5
Change
swords.
that into a 6.
Oh, you're going somewhere else.
So that I can do Overpower, which is annoying because I got the Overpower upgrade. So I roll 3 dice
Yep.
and do damage equal to the numbers. If it's 14 or more, you're also concussed.
Comes triple 1. Oh, Jesus.
Take exactly 7 damage.
Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a CP to play Absolution. I roll 1 dice. 5. Oh no, it's a heart. Prevent 5 damage.
2 damage then.
And then I'll roll my defensive roll. Here's another heart, which prevents another 2.
So you're currently taking nothing.
Yeah, I get a CP. I defend, prevent 1. So I get nothing, and you take 1. So your attack meant you take 1.
Excellent.
That's right. You don't mess with a paladin, man. Come on.
Okay, yours.
Right, gain a CP, draw a card. Right, let's see if I can finish you off. 10. Does my paladin have anything that can do 10 damage?
Yeah, resolute faith.
That's true. I'm not going to get that though. Well, there are 3 swords and a helmet. Yeah. Go for that again. There we go. Easy.
Bit too easy, to be honest.
So deal 6 plus. That's 4 more, is 10.
That's 10 damage.
And I gain 2 health. Pretty good. 9.
Wow, let's see if I'm dead. Are you gonna play anything else?
Nope.
Let's get at least a heart. I am left on 2 health.
Ugh.
So I take 8.
Alright, over to you then.
Oh wow. It's interesting now because I need to kill you, but because of the divinity thing, I need to kill you twice, and I've only got 2 health.
I think you should do reckless again.
I
You
think
can kill us both at the same time.
that would be stupid. I wouldn't kill you.
No, but I'm hoping you forget that.
Alright, let's look for as many hearts as possible.
Hearts. Come on, man. I'm only on 9.
Another heart.
Is that the maximum? Oh, you can get another one.
I'll heal 5.
That's not enough, man. You need more than that.
Oh, back up to 7. Don't want to play anything. No. Okay. That's me.
So, gain his thing. Get another thing, yeah. Yeah, this one's crap. Alright, let's see if I can finish you off. What are you on? 7, yeah?
I am on 7.
What else does damage around here?
Doesn't matter, man. You just continually do righteous combat over and over again until I'm dead.
Right, so I got the swords and I got a helmet.
Exactly same as last time, man. You're going to roll the helmet in.
No,
Ooh.
no.
Ah. Use some rerolls.
What is the helmets? 3s and 4s. So I'm going to spend a CP. Oh, no, I don't need to worry about that. I got it.
Right, 6 damage, plus your 3 dice. That's 12. If I roll 3 hearts, I survive on 1 life. Ah,
You got 2.
What an effort.
If I had another better than D, I'd play it on you just to see if you could do it.
I would have done it. So I am indeed dead.
And the paladin wins.
Taking 8, I go to -1.
Just proving that armor overcomes abs.
Or the higher the complexity, the better the character.
Alright, so we're going to clean up here and we'll come back with our verdict. Okay, so we're back with our verdict on Dice Throne. This is now from Roxley Games, not MBG Games. And they've got a 2nd season out which adds a load more characters.
There's like 8 different characters.
Yeah, we were just having a look at them on the internet now a minute ago. So there's a lot of variety. The characters that are in here add a lot of other variety as well. So you got the monk, the pyromancer, the paladins, what you saw me play with. This is the Shadow Thief. I think she's broken.
Yeah, she's quite good.
No, I'm just kidding. I just think she's really good. That's obviously the barbarian that D was using, and the moon elf, which I think is the boring one.
That's our least favourite one, I think, from what we've played.
So, as you saw, I just won with the paladin. So, what did we think? How did you think of this game in particular?
I thought this game in particular was quite difficult compared to previously, and I kind of feel that the complexity level showed in a positive and a negative light. In the positive side of things, you have more complexity, so you've got more options and you've got more abilities that you can use and you can capitalise on. I think that's really good. I suppose the negative side of things, and I've seen it in many other different types of games in the past as well, is that when you've got someone who is
one-dimensional.
It's one-dimensional. He rolls dice and he looks to do damage, and there's nothing else to him. And I kind of felt that the only thing which I had going is because I had that reckless card, and I was like, yeah, you know, it says 20 damage, 3 hits of that, and you're dead.
Yeah.
So obviously, just one-dimensional, just keep on trying to get that, which was possibly a fault of my own, because then it means that I neglected doing some of the other lesser damage ones.
Yeah, because you missed 3 turns.
Yeah, 3 turns of doing nothing, when that could have been enough to do the 9 points of damage left over and potentially do the other point of death with the Blessing of Divinity. So yeah, this particular game was a little bit frustrating because 3 turns of doing nothing, plus maybe I played the character a little bit wrong and I shouldn't have continually kept on trying to do that. In terms of the overall game, I do really like it. I've really enjoyed all the games that I've played. I've played 3 different characters now. I've used this one. 4 different characters. This one, I've used the Monk, the Pyromancer, and the Shadow Thief. And like Jason was saying, the Shadow Thief seems super strong, but once again, it could have been. In fact, I'm pretty sure when we played that, my dice rolling was like a ridiculous. I kept on rolling 5 of their abilities and kept on getting loads of stuff. So
yeah, the components are really good. All the games all the boards have their own little reference sheet, so you can see what their abilities are and stuff. And then the abilities are roughly the same, you know, attack and defend and gain CP and so on. But this one had an interesting ability, which I can't remember, because you can see it's got 2 defensive abilities.
There's one to do with like negating your attack and stuff if I rolled certain results or something, I think it was.
Yeah, something, I can't remember. We played this a while ago, and I just couldn't get through at all.
Yeah, and you were using the Paladin in that game, weren't you? So
for me,
I think it might have been something to do with shadow defense and then sneak attacks, and yeah, there was something which was just going really, really well. It was shadows. Shadows was the one which was stopping you from doing something.
Oh yes, you could just discard the token.
It's like, no, you're not attacking me.
Paladin's my favourite character. I quite like the Paladin, but I also quite like the Pyromancer. It's like a real glass cannon. It's everything I do, even defensively, it has. On my defensive turn, I'm going to burn you.
Yeah.
on your turn, I'm going to burn you. My turn, I'm going to burn you some more. So it's very much like the Barbarian.
But I think, yeah, from the base game, 6 different characters. I think it makes each game interesting to see how characters compare with each other as well. But yeah, so I think the decks are quite nice in terms of you've got obviously some stock cards which will probably be in all of the decks, and then you've got ones. The one thing which I think I really like about the game is the fact that you upgrade your base abilities through the card mechanic as well, and I think that makes a big difference, and also directs you in a certain way. Like using that game as this example, I had the Reckless, so from the get-go I was a case of, right, well, that's doing 20 damage, that sounds really good. Well, if I hadn't have got that and I'd have maybe got the Crit Bash, which would upgrade this one to give me 2 different lesser effects, that could have completely changed my strategy. And I think that's really, really good, really clever about how that will change what you're trying to do.
In the game we played, I had 3 upgraded cards. I upgraded my defensive card, my passive ability, and my only attack card that I was playing.
Yeah.
But I like that as well. I like the fact that and the cards also have a lot of mitigation on the dice rolls and stuff. All the orange ones allow you to mitigate some of the potential dice flaws, you know, like, because dice games are you at the whim of the dice, basically.
Right, like we saw 3 turns of doing nothing for myself.
I think that's why I like the Paladin so much, because
he's got the manipulation of the rolling ability stuff. So yeah, I think overall, I think the game is real good fun. I feel maybe my only criticism, and maybe it's just something in general at the moment, is the price of the game. Is too high for me to go out and buy it now, because I'd want to buy that and I'd potentially want to get the season 2 as well, but then that's going to cost me somewhere in the realms of like 70-80 quid for basically a card dueling game, and which is a letdown for myself. Maybe it's because I'm being a bit too tight, because that seems to be like the going price for like a decent game at the moment. Like I said, you get lots of customizable dice, you've got individual dials, everything's customized for each different character. So I said, from in the whole box you get all of that stuff. So I said all different dice, all with unique symbols on it as well. So I can understand why Why the price is a little bit higher, because obviously the production quality has gone up and the card stock is cool. So yeah, that's really my only criticism. I suppose the other thing as well, where we're saying about the complexity, I felt like there was a clear difference in our characters, because I felt like his had a lot of stuff going on, mine didn't. So I kind of feel that if you were playing the game...
Just to clarify with the complexity thing, it's not that we think the characters are unbalanced, because
No.
the 1 complexity can easily beat the 6 complexity character, but it's more fun to play in my opinion, to play the higher complexity guys, because there's more options of variety.
That will obviously determine who you play the game with and who you play the game against.
Yeah.
So for example, like, you could probably play this with your oldest boy, maybe even the youngest boy, depending on how much you could sort of pick up on like combos and stuff. And then the lower complexities, like I know Alex, for example, something like this would be perfectly fine with him.
Yeah.
It'd be a case of, right, I'm just going to try and do as much damage and roll really well, which I didn't do too much in that game. Well, when you're playing with myself, I like to have lots of complexities, and I like to have a lot of...
I remember you enjoying playing the monk.
Yeah, because I thought the monk was really cool, because he used like chi counters.
Yeah.
You could then use chi counters to then focus on doing this and manipulate that as well. And I like things which combo off each other and have chain effects. And that's just something I've enjoyed in card, deck, dice building games in general. So, in terms of rating for the game, out of 10, for myself, I'd probably say 8.5.
Ah, that's a good score.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, for myself, I think that just starting with the basics of the artwork and the components and things like that. I think the artwork's really nice. It's bright. It's attractive art. The components are really nice. Good quality dice. Strong chit counters. Cards are good stock. So to pack the game away is really nice as well, because it's got these interesting little inserts that your tokens and counters and dice go into. And it packs away nicely. The boards go on top of that, so that's really good. I think the quality, and this is now being done by Roxley. Roxley do great components anyway, so that's really good. I think from gameplay wise, it's actually a pretty good game. It's got all the characters feel different. I think I've played 5 out of the 6 characters now. I don't think I've played the Shadow Thief, which is the one I think that is the strongest, but that's only due to the
game we had.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to use that character again and see if we have the exact same feeling about it, or if it's, because like I said, it could entirely be because I just remember from that game I had really good dice rolls consistently.
You kept getting that shadow token back again every turn.
And obviously that then just ruined, because I think you were using the paladin in that game, and it's like you just couldn't do the damage, because it was just a case of, no, you're not doing that, no, you're not doing that.
So, but I think the characters are really well balanced. In that, other than that, I think that what's really interesting, especially with the monk, the paladin, and even the shadow thief to an extent, it's really interesting playing them because they got a lot of complexity. So you got to manipulate and grind a little. So the game's,
it's very much like choosing when's the best time to attack, rather than with like the barbarian and the pyromans, which is just a case of I need to just kill you quick.
And the moon elf.
Yeah, and the move just kills off. I just need to do as much damage as quickly as possible to you and just kill you before you have a chance to build up your defences and get the tokens on and gain your health and stuff. So.
And considering it's a sort of I like to say King of Tokyo style game where you're basically trying to match up the symbols and stuff, there's enough mitigation in you to not feel too frustrated. I know you missed couple of 3 turns, but it was mainly due to you trying to go for a big one, if you like.
I was trying to go for a difficult large straight, for example. So.
Whereas if you got some stuff that allows you to just tick over damage, if you like. It makes the game a little longer then, but you don't suffer from the frustration fact of the dice has hosed me this time. It's kind of got a push your luck element to it. I think the command points are really interesting as well. The combat points. It's sort of like it adds what's the word I'm looking for? Like resources. How it gives you also, because you got this big deck of cards with loads of interesting bits, upgrading your abilities, dice mitigation bits, and some things to mess with your opponent. I like that because that makes me think on my turn, how do I want to spend these command points? How do I want to upgrade my abilities? Which ability am I using more? What am I leaning towards? How do I want to use the counters? That sort of stuff. So there's quite a lot of interesting decisions. So yeah, I think it's a really good game.
How would you rate it?
I think 7.5 is what I would rate it. I think that's a really good game. It's a solid game. I think ultimately I feel it's a 2-player game. You know, I don't feel that this is multiplayer is just having more of the same, and I don't feel it changes the game in any way. You know, it's still just I'm fighting you and you fighting.
I think if, for example, you played multiplayer and there's an even amount, I think you should always do teams.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you could get into, like, if we play it with some of our friends, it would just get into a case of, well, these two are going to fight each other, these two are going to fight each other, and then when one of those is dead, then it's a 2-on-1 handicap match.
Yeah.
While I think if you had an odd amount of players, that could make it quite interesting. If you played a 3 or a 5 player, you're always going to have the odd person who then adds in a bit of spice into a sort of a friction between two players. So, and I think that's something we should probably try at some point, Jason, as well, with whoever that may be with. But
yeah, there are variations you can play for the upgrade for the multiplayer stuff. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good enough game. I think it's a pretty good game 2-player because you get into the game pretty quick and you have the multiple characters that you can swap out. I mean, last time we played this, we played like 2 or 3 games in a row just swapping out characters, and that was fun because it was different tactics, different strategies, and it was good. In fact, they got a second season with more characters, and
8 new characters.
Yeah, and they're all completely different as well, like completely different characters. Like you've got a gunslinger and a tree ant,
pirate.
Yeah, so variety this game does not suffer from. It looks good, it plays fast. It's a good game. That's just simple as that.
Yeah. I think the game is good as a pick-up filler game while you're waiting. If you're waiting for other people to come around, this would be a cool game. Pick it up, play some games with each other.
Yeah.
But I don't imagine this being a case of cool. We're gonna get together, me and Jason, on a day, and we're gonna play Dice Throne for 3-4 hours.
No, yeah,
it's not going to be one which you'll continually play over and over and over again. It's just a case of I've got a bit of downtime. Yeah, I've got half hour. Yeah, probably fit a game of that in, and play that before you go onto something more meaty, for example.
You know, what's really interesting to you as well, also think about with this is like, because we used to play quite a lot of CCGs, Magic versus all those, Yu-Gi-Oh, those type of cards, those collectible card games. And the beauty about what we used to do with those games is we used to build up a deck, and then when we meet up on a gaming night, we'd play 2 or 3 games of, say, versus, and then go on to play in a different type of board game. This could easily replace that for me. Because I don't want to collect, loads of boosters of cards and stuff anymore. But this one gives you enough variety with the different decks that you don't feel like you're just playing the same deck over and over and over. It's got so many different characters with different strategies. This could easily replace that in my type of criteria. You turned up before everyone else. Let's have a game of Dice Throne. Play a couple of games of that and then play on to a big board game.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, there you go. That's our thoughts on Dice Throne from now Roxley Games.
Just Roxley. It's not called now Roxley Games. just Roxley Games.
And just to point out, loser.
Yes, he is.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.